that as a boxer you suck. Because I don't think that you have good boxing. You just are an average level of boxer, which is respect. Like for me, I respect it
Yeah,
because you
so then
started
let's spar. Let's
from
spar.
whenever you get.
And when I beat
Listen,
your ass in
the
sparring,
thing
what
is
will you
that
say then?
whenever you get your job like healed, let's do it. But just get ready because you're gonna need
The
another
thing is
period of
that
time to recover your job.
I don't need the jaw to be healed because you're not gonna touch me, bro. You MMA fighters are all trash.
If
I
you
beat
if you
all of the
want
best in your
if
sport.
you want me
I beat
to
all
not
of the
touch your
best in your
jaw,
sport.
yeah,
That's
listen,
actually a
let's do
fact.
it.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. This guy, Ilia Topuria, who is currently the lightweight UFC world champion, former featherweight world champion before vacating his bout after knocking out Alexander Volkanovski, defended his bout against Max Holloway. Nobody's ever knocked out Max Holloway. He was the first person to do it. Then moves up to the lightweight division and knocks out Charles Oliveira in one round with a record of 17-0. 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. 8 of the other wins coming by way of submission, and only had 2 decisions in his 17-fight UFC amazing career so far. Topuria has been one of the most active UFC fighters out there that has been calling out boxers. Terrence Bud Crawford has been calling out boxers, saying that he will beat a lot of us. And Jake Paul, finally. Jake Paul, out of all the boxers to defend the world of boxing, gets into an argument live on Adin Ross's, streaming with Ilia Topuria. Topuria says he'll be able to knock him out. Topuria says, recover your jaw, bro, because I'll beat your ass. But Jake Paul says, you're so little, dude. You're so little. All you MMA guys, all your UFC fighters out there, I already own you. Now, I'll be honest with you. He did beat Jake Paul. I mean, he did beat Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren. I would have considered Ben Askren a UFC fighter, But he did beat Anderson the Spider Silva. Now, a lot of these guys with UFC names are long past their prime. It's not like he beat anybody who was currently in the UFC fighting in their prime. Nate Diaz, Tyron Woodley, former UFC middleweight champion, Anderson the Spider Silva, former UFC middleweight champion. These guys are long past their prime. Mike Perry is a little bit different, but he's a bare knuckle boxer fighter. He left the UFC years ago. I honestly do think Jake Paul could outbox Ilia Topuria. I don't care about the size. I know Jake Paul's bringing up the size difference. Ilia Topuria is almost 5'6", almost 5'7", but Topuria has knocked out dudes that are 5'10", 5'11". He's fought guys like Damon Jackson, not the shortest guys, but decent size. Jai Herbert, I believe, was 5'10", 5'11" as well. Charles Oliveira is 5'10". Jake Paul standing at 6'1", which is, kind of bigger than all those guys that I just named you. But when it comes to the size difference, his body mass is completely different. You're talking about a guy who was fighting in the heavyweights against Anthony Joshua, weighing in at 220 pounds. Mike Tyson weighed 227 pounds. Was fighting in the cruiserweight division at 199 pounds, 200-pound limit. Started at 186 pounds in his boxing career. This guy's way bigger than Topuria. I can see Topuria landing some beautiful punches, but boxing is completely different than MMA, UFC. All the guys that Topuria has been sparring with don't have the same body mass and style that Jake Paul has. Jake Paul is a runner, man. Don't get me wrong. He's a styly, technical boxer from the outside. He likes to jab at you, use his footwork, 1-2, get out of there, and use his athleticism to be able to win the fights. I think he would be able to do damage on Ilia Topuria. I think Topuria would have to cut off the ring. I think he would have to push Jake Paul up against the ropes, and I think he would need to let off combinations. I do see it being possible that he rocks Jake Paul, but I also see it very possible him not rocking Jake Paul. I also see it very possible Jake Paul taking one of those punches, and every punch that Ilia Topuria gives him, he gives back about 3 to 4 punches. That's what I see. I see Jake Paul using his footwork. I see him jabbing at Topuria's head. I see Topuria coming in with big combinations. Boom, boom, boom. Possibly rocking Jake Paul, but I think Jake Paul has the skills at least to be able to maneuver around the ring and has the size to be able to hopefully take one of those shots and still give back. But let me know what you guys think, man. Does Ilia Topuria absolutely knock out Jake Paul? Put him to sleep? I want to see a crossover fight. And out of all the UFC fighters that have been talking all that smack, it has been Ilia Topuria. Topuria has been the #1 UFC fighter who has great boxing, don't get me wrong. He's an orthodox fighter, keeps his hands up, great combinations, knows how to step in when you're stepping out. His angles are absolutely fantastic. His distance management is absolutely fantastic. Says he trains from watching Canelo Alvarez, and that's one of his biggest, biggest prodigies. The guys that he likes when it comes to boxing, he trains his ways. Would Ilia Topuria be able to knock out Jake Paul? I want to see this, man. I hope they are able to make this fight happen someday in the future. Topuria, while he's fighting under the UFC banner, of course, it's impossible, man. But there's a bag there. And I know a lot of people would love to see that fight. Let me know what you guys think, though.